Dearest Mother, I came to this rock to find you, but I only find myself surrounded by schemers. The President, the soldier, the Duchess, and the Cardinal, and those who invited us here. But I won't be a pawn in their games. What brought you here? What have you left for me to find? Are you even still alive?
Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Everything is possible if you make the right choices.
It will take all my skill and my silver tongue to solve this mystery. Before it's too late.
And welcome back everybody to the council. And on to the last steps. So, Trail of Faith. So. We met the mother. We had to choose between Emily and Emma. We had to find out who was who. And gather 5 objects to open that iris. And find something. I wonder what's inside. I do wonder. But the mother fade. That's how she lost the hand. So, let's try.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas.
Let's see.
Chapter 1, verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852. Chapter 1,
No.
verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852. Chapter 1, verse 9. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens opened, and the Spirit like a dove descending upon him.
Let's see. Okay.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So I have to find something. Engine response. Send October A. 30 Ramadan. Corresponds to dates with different calendars. What am I looking for? What am I looking for?
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
I have to find... No!
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
Okay. Let's see with tones. Wait. Let's show you. Is that Jordan? Jerusalem? Is that us? Stuffing. Okay, Tim's. Marco's birth. What am I looking for? What am I looking at? Forest, red. Student. What am I looking for? It's brilliant. Wait, Bethlehem, Nazareth, Bethesda. Ah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Where's the film?
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
We'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more.
N-R-I.
Why, of course. I-N-R-I. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Eudorum. These initials stand for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. This is the inscription which appears on the cross at the crucifixion of Jesus.
Okay.
You could see that the paint has come off in parts.
Nazareth.
Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said.
Life.
If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case?
Death of Christ.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals.
Okay.
These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ.
Okay, so if it's the life, not life, then
Cross
No.
is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
okay. Themes, volumes, judgment.
Chapter
Crucifixion.
19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Resurrection.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head. Chapter 24, verse 3. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee." Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
No. Judgment?
Chapter 10, verse 30. I and the Father are one.
Nope.
Chapter 1,
No, I
verse
said
9.
this one is not.
Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852.
So not Jordan. It's not Bariams. It's not Bariams. Crucifixion, sin, judgments.
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes.
It's about thrones.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
No.
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem. Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Chapter 1, verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852.
I don't see anything.
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793,
I already read that.
Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
I don't get it. fresco.
If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case?
Okay, but why did he die?
Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Why, of course, I-N-R-I. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Eudorum. These initials stand for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. This is the inscription which appears on the cross at the crucifixion of Jesus. Why, of course, they're part of the initials I-N-R-I that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion.
Nazareth.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
There's Nazareth there.
These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ.
So is the death?
Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals.
So the death of Jesus. Okay. Death of Jesus.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash.
Okay.
Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Oh, nothing about this. Nothing about the Trinity. Let's see. Crucifixion?
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
8th of Nisan.
Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Eighth Nisan. Specific there. It's 26 March or April 29.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793,
Near Jerusalem.
in a place near Jerusalem. The
not
Romans put a
Jerusalem.
crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Okay, so it's 8 Nisan. So 8 Nisan is 8 April, 26 March. Is it Jerusalem? Is it Jerusalem?
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan,
No.
3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 14, verse 22.
It's super.
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed and broke it and gave to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And he took the cup, and when he'd given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it.
No, it's not that. It's in Jerusalem.
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and
No.
lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda.
In Ara.
All stand and fling away their canes.
Look for 8 of Nisan. See, where is that?
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame
No.
on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having
No.
5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk,
It's
of
not
the
Bethesda.
blind, halting, and
So it's not
withered,
Bethesda.
waiting for the moving of the water.
Not Jerusalem.
Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the
It's not
man was
Nazareth
made
either.
whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
So let's see about New Towns. Abogash Jerusalem.
Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Tebeth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
Okay.
Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Chapter 2, verse 2. Publius Sulpicius Quirinius was born
No.
in Lanuvium.
Hey.
Chapter 7, verse 11. Jesus went to Nain.
Okay. Nothing.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th
No.
of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Let's see. It's not about town. It's not about the town. It's about things only. It's Golgotha. Oh, right. So what did it say? What did it say? Is it about crucifixion? Crucifixion was at Golgotha, and
Chapter 19, verse 17.
okay.
Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17.
Verse 17.
And he, bearing his
Golgotha.
cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew
17.
Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Okay. So it's Golgotha. Golgotha. That and that. Okay, what's new?
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
Wait. Oh.
There must
Say-
surely be a connection between the wheels.
We have
There are
icons.
different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest.
Okay.
Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
True. There's the birth. The birth is there. I think it's crucifixion there.
This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date.
Okay.
This wheel represents the different moons. In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful.
What?
The totally black moon corresponds to the new moon. So, going clockwise, we have the waning crescent, the last quarter, the waning gibbous, the full moon, the waxing gibbous, the first quarter, and lastly, the waxing crescent.
Okay.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Okay. And how do I do that?
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon. The moon shadow moves from west to east.
Okay, west to east. Oh, right. 26 March and 8 April. And that is 7 Shaban and 6 Rajab. 6 Rajab.
6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent.
Okay. And the one 7, 6 Rajab and 7 Shaban.
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Okay, so I have to choose between first quarter and 6 Rajab.
6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent.
Okay. So what's this one?
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Okay, and
6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent.
something missed. So it's about death.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Okay, and how do I turn? How do I turn this? Oh, right. Let's see. There was the that. There was that. Oh, right. Good. So. There's a crucifixion. Date.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
It's too much. Difficulty.
following the clues in the Bibles in the architect's notes, the crucifixion took place on the 8th of Nisan 3793, according to the astronomers of that time. That would correspond to March 26th in the year 33 on a modern calendar.
On a modern calendar. So it would be 26, right?
According to the architect's notes in the armillary sphere, the moon during the crucifixion was a first quarter. That's the one with its left half in the light.
Okay.
To follow the crucifixion theme, I should select the crown of thorns.
I'm not sure. Because a crucifixion would more be the cross. Crucifixion would be the cross, I think. I think he'd be the cross. If it's the modern calendar, then maybe we shouldn't follow the modern calendar. Oh, wait. Maybe. Agora. Wait. Maybe it's that. $26 AM. It's... I get it. Gorgora. We have to find Gorgora. I get it. It was born in Jordan and Jerusalem. It was crucified at Bethlehem. I get it. I get it now. I get it. I understand now. I totally understand. It was... Which one it was? First quarter. First quarter is... It moves to the west. West for east. So. If I'm right, it's this one. It's this one. If I'm right. Because... Look. Look at it. Just look at it. Another water.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Look. Golgotha. Here is Golgotha. Golgotha is there. No. Golgotha is there. He got crucified, so the crown of thorns on 26th March, and it was First Crescent. We have to figure out that. Also, look, Jordan, Jerusalem. He was born there, and he was crucified in Bethlehem. In Nazareth, there was nothing that happened in Nazareth. In Bethesda, there was something that happened there, and it was resurrected. That's that. That's that. Sorry, that.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. I never doubted
Did
you,
it!
my son.
Great! I did it! I did it! Ha! I got all the keys that my mother asked me to find. I found my mother's cross. I unlocked the first wheel on the crypt door. I cracked the code of the crypt door. I got everything. The conference is on the door. Who cares? Who cares about that? There's no point about that. Not anymore. I guess for diversion. That's logic. I have nothing left. Oh, I can't get manuscript. Oh, right. Okay, there. Oh! And it's already done? Well, that was some enigma. That was. It was pretty harsh. It was hard because you had to look not at the top but at the bottom, finding the names. Everything had to match. Everything had to match. That was the key. That was the key. I get it. I get it now. That was harsh because I didn't find the Golgotha. I couldn't find it in the wheel. That's why I got confused. But it was so clear. Now when I think about it, it's so clear. It damn is. That's so obvious. The only thing I'm worrying about is why the crests? Because demons? Maybe that? And of course that would be twisted. It's not from Mortimer. I think it's more from the demon than from Mortimer. But it was so twisted. And of course it was. They don't worship Jesus' birth, but Jesus' death. Demons worship that. Because after all, Jesus the Christ and in hell is the Antichrist, right? Something like that. Even if I'm non-believer about all this, I'm an atheist. I would say that I'm an atheist. I'm a non-believer. I respect people who believe in religions and all, everyone has to, well, we all have to respect each other's beliefs. We all have to. But we must never, never force people to believe what we believe. We can talk, we can debate, but never force. Just never do that. There's no point. It only ends into suffering. That's the only thing I can say. Because I don't see any point in forcing people. Whatever you do, it's not only about religion, it's about everything. Everything. Never force someone. Just respect them. Respect their beliefs, respect their way, respect who they are. Just that. I know there's too many people doing that nowadays. Too many people are not doing that. I know that for a fact. And that's shameful. That's so shameful. Whatever. So we solved the enigma. And now it's time for everything else to work. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 6 more steps. And then it'll be done. Ah, jeez, I don't have enough. Whatever. Couldn't find everything.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
It's always so weird to see them all there. Because they're not. Oh. So. Whoa. What's that? So huge. Episode 4. Burning bridges.
But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around.
Yeah.
Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The lance of Longinus the Centurion.
I know.
Oh, that? That's what we come to find? The lance that a centurion stuck in the side of Christ at his crucifixion?
That's it.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can
Right.
always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time
Yep.
for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried
Okay.
to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed. Don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop
Okay.
if I understand correctly. Not
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
Even... All right.
Okay.
We'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it.
Sure.
Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Okay. Right. Of course they were foreign. Why would it be raw jelly?
Flavius Aetius.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories.
Great.
But how did he end up here? Flavius Aetius. It was cut a long time ago. You could tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's that? Oh,
Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip.
oh. Okay, we should ask Piaggi. That's definitely it. It's definitely something we have to do. There's too many. Oh my! Oh my gosh, there's too many. There's way too many.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
What?
It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find here. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we can find here. It's far too heavy. I'm not going to be able to do it on my own.
It's pretty weird. Okay, we must ask Piaggi. So let's go. Let's go back to Piaggi. What's it, your notes? Let's find the Holy Lands. That's all? That's all. Okay. What's are you gonna say? Find the Holy Lands. Well, why not? That's still a quest. Whatever it is. Oh, right. That's the fort. No, no, wrong way, wrong way. Thank you. No, no, no. Wrong way. Wow. Pretty well done.
The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ.
Sure.
The Gospel of St. John is the most detailed on the subject of the crucifixion. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. Shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
Shimmering, shimmering.
The name of the Roman soldier who killed Christ never appears in the biblical canon. Yet, it is said that he was a centurion and was called Longinus.
Okay. So, whatever. I think I stopped there. Because, well, I had to make an episode way too long. And by the way, honest, we solved the enigma. That's the most important. So, I hope you enjoyed. I wanna, would you have found the enigma? The solution of the enigma? This, to me, was a bit weird. Honestly, it was a bit weird. But at least I could find it. If it was the guessing thing, I was not sure I would have found a solution, to be honest. So I'm glad I could be able to, without not too many clues. Just want to get out of the maze. If your base. Right, finally. course it's not. Of course it's not. We can go back right there. Ah, too bad. I would have loved to go back right there. Okay. Let's go there. Ah! Justin, where's the exit? Where's it now?
Amber.
That's all. Just for that? Eh, whatever. And done. Okay, so let's stop there, as I said. Next episode we're gonna find Piaggi and take a step further to the lands, the right lands. We have to find the right all holy lands, otherwise it surely won't work whatever the mother wanted to. So I hope you enjoyed, even if it was a bit messy sometimes, I think. But anyway, I hope you had fun in this episode, and we'll be seeing you next time. Bye!